Hey y'all, come paint a mural with me. A while back, I met with the principal and a few others at Indian Lakes Elementary School. They wanted me to paint a semi-realistic mural of their mascot, the Thunderbird, in their cafeteria. So I got to work on some ideas in my sketchbook. Took some notes, made some lists, and came up with this. Everything I do always starts off with a silly doodle. Once I had a rough idea of my layout, I hopped on my laptop. From here, I did more research to figure out how I could make the mascot look more realistic. I searched through different birds that had yellow and blue feathers, and then I found my inspo. I hopped on my iPad to sketch out my idea. I knew I wanted the mascot to be pretty large, maybe with the body of an eagle or a body of a condor. So I started with his body. Added in some feathers, some details, and then I added everything else in the background. The school, the trees, the bricks of the wall. Yeah. I think the hardest part was figuring out the colors I wanted to use in the design. I wanted something bright, a little bit playful, but then also still sticking to realistic colors. Day one, I got to the school and plotted where the mural would sit, somewhere between the white flags. I projected my digital sketch, and from there, I got to work on tracing the lines. I used an acrylic marker for this part, just doing line by line. A whole lot of ladder work, a little bit of back and forth, but this is how it turned out so far. The next day, I bought my supplies, and then I started on the first layer of paint. This layer is a little see-through and is meant to help block out my colors piece by piece. Painting over this wire that ran right down the middle of it was a tricky thing. After I finished one side of the mural, I then hopped onto the other and did the same thing. Blocking out each section, filling it in completely, and I took my time to finish out this base layer. Yeah. After this, I added on some small details, such as the red brick. I worked a little bit on the trees, added in some shadows, some more color blocking. I did some prep work for when the summer school kids came and helped. Thank you so much. Then I finished some shadows and highlights in the trees. I also added some little blades of grass to the lawn section. After this, I started the second layer. This is where I focused more on blending the shadows and highlights on the yellow feathers. What I did to one side, I then did to the other. Next up was the blending on the blue feathers. I tried to bring out more darker shadows for a little bit more contrast. I then painted the shadows and highlights on the Thunderbird's head. Here's a better shot of how that turned out, along with everything else. From there, I added even more details to bring out the Thunderbird's face. I went through my supplies, and once again, I grabbed those acrylic markers, and I wrote out Indian Lakes Elementary School. While I was up there, I added the final details in the windows. I went ahead and I signed this mural, and finally, after a few weeks of working on this project, I had finished the Indian Lakes Thunderbirds mural. This was a fun project and everyone was super nice. And here it is. Thank you, Indian Lakes Elementary, for letting me come paint your wall.